Relative popularity of Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party government. In October 2018, 41% of the respondents said they were satisfied with the Arvind Kejriwal government. That number has now gone up 2%. So it may be marginal, but the trend seems to suggest that the popularity of the AAP government is actually going up. It's not coming down. The level of dissatisfaction is more or less the same. It was 35% in October 2018. That's now gone down 1% to 34%, but by and large, it's just the same way. So the number of people who are dissatisfied is roughly the same. Who do people want in Delhi as the state's next chief minister? In October 2018, 47% of the respondents said they want Arvind Kejriwal as CM. That number has now gone up to 49%. So a 2% increase. Both the directions suggest the same. The popularity of the CM and his government are both holding firm and in fact marginally going up. Manoj Tiwari was at 9% in October. He's gone up to 14%, but this is really nothing. It's 1/3 of the popularity of Arvind Kejriwal. If he's BJP's main man, they haven't found an answer to Kejriwal. He's not really in the race. Sheila Dikshit, interestingly, is the Congress's most preferred leader in the capital. They tried to build up Ajay Makan. Makan thought he was a great choice and he was ready to take over. The data doesn't suggest that. Although Sheila's popularity also is actually coming down from 19% to 12%, but she still is the #1 recall choice for the Congress. So that's really bad news both for the BJP and the Congress. There is Harshvardhan as well. He was at 13% earlier. He's now at 12%. So nothing there for Harshvardhan either. I want to go across to Sanjay Kumar. One, Kejriwal holding firm, his government holding firm, and BJP and Congress both in a shambles in the capital.
Let's make no mistake, Rahul. I think Aam Aadmi Party's popularity and Kejriwal's popularity is not as high as it was in 2015, but it has come down by a huge margin, but still Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi remains far more popular compared to any other party. Kejriwal remains as the main choice of people as the chief minister. So it still remains a very popular party in the state capital. Kejriwal still is the first choice of the chief minister. And if, hypothetically, if you hold elections tomorrow, I have no doubt they will be able to form another government in Delhi.
To say that Kejriwal is no longer as popular as he was in 2015 is to tell only half the story, because he won virtually all the seats on offer. He doesn't need to do that well. He doesn't need to win 67. He only needs to win one more than 35. And Amit Malviya, no matter what the BJP thinks about the performance of the Kejriwal government and the Aam Aadmi Party, voters are not dissatisfied with the government. If at all, his level of satisfaction, his popularity and that of his government is actually going up. And your man, Manoj Tiwari, is less than 1/3 that of Kejriwal's popularity.
Well, a couple of points here, Rahul. First of all, Delhi has seen a very split verdict when it comes to the Lok Sabha and the Vidhan Sabha and the MCD. In the Lok Sabha, we swept all the 7 Lok Sabha seats. Arvind Kejriwal and his party did reasonably well in the assembly election because he was riding on the India against corruption wave and not so much the Aam Aadmi Party. And then in 2017, backed on the great unpopularity of Aam Aadmi Party, we came back to MCD for the 3rd time. Therefore, at this point in time, when you're looking at these numbers, please remember, we are not getting into an assembly election. We've not projected a chief ministerial candidate. Mr. Manoj Tiwari is the state president. Mr. Harshvardhan is a member who was widely seen as being in contention, but right now he's a central minister. And therefore, there is no conscious pitch by the BJP to project a leader to take on Arvind Kejriwal.
No, that's a very good spin, Amit Malviya. The question is your situation getting better? Is the BJP... I'll come to the Lok Sabha numbers in a moment. And of course, what you're saying is correct. The question the BJP needs to wonder, whether you accept this on PSC or not, but later you discuss with your party people, are you gaining ground in the capital? The PSC data suggests that while the AAP may have lost marginal ground in comparison with 2015, they are still heads and shoulders ahead of the BJP and the Congress. And that's a problem for your party. You need to acknowledge that. Not on air, but off air you need to acknowledge. And you need to do something about it if you hope to give Kejriwal a fight.
Rahul, I want to make just one very important observation. Despite the fact that Arvind Kejriwal in 2015 got a massive landslide, the BJP held on to its assembly vote share of approximately 33%. And that is a very important indicator. Arvind Kejriwal's gain came on the basis of the collapse that the Congress saw in its vote share from 25 to 9 and the BSP from approximately 5% to 1%, not the BJP. So the BJP is very well placed in the capital city to bounce back or to sort of regain power as and when the elections approach. That is a very important differentiation factor between us and the other opposition party, and the Aam Aadmi Party knows it very well.
Okay, Khushbu? There is some merit, if you really stretch electoral logic, in what Amit Malviya is saying, that it's the Congress that is in a bigger pit than the BJP. Yes, they didn't win too many seats, they picked up only 3, but in comparison with the Congress, they're still better off. So if there's anyone who's competing against AAP, he says it's us. Congress to race mein hi nahi hai. I mean, not that they're winning the race or even doing well in the race. He says, chalo, at least we are in the race, you're not even in the race.
Now, Amit Malviya has to decide, because he keeps contradicting his own statement. He's saying he's not going to talk about the local body elections or the assembly election, Vidhan Sabha election. He's going to look only at Lok Sabha. And then he comes back saying that BJP is still in the running. So I think you're contradicting your own statement. You have to be very clear whether you're looking at Lok Sabha or you're looking at the assembly elections. Now, coming to Delhi politics, I think I'm not going to boast and say that we have done extremely well. Yes, there are issues which we need to look into it. And fine, AAP is popular. Mr. Kejriwal has gained his popularity. It's not as what it was in 2016, but it still is very popular. So, as you say that the choice of Delhi Chief Minister, the state of Delhi should be Sheila ji. I think we'll take a call on that. We have not decided on that. The assembly elections are not here. We are still looking at the Lok Sabha election, which is going to happen in another 4 months. So we still have some time.
I said despite Ajay Maken, now he's resigned of course, but despite Ajay Maken being your face in the capital, people think still of Sheila Dikshit as their choice. But even there, the numbers have gone down. It's only now Sanjay Kumar.
Sheila ji is a very popular leader. Sheila ji,
but she's less than 1/4 of the popularity of Kejriwal.
I've seen the way Sheila ji has worked.
Khushbu Sundar, she's 1/4 the popularity of Kejriwal.
Exactly, we are not looking at that.
I must inform our viewers, in case you're wondering why there is no Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson on the show.
We are going to work on it.
Okay, in case our viewers are wondering why there's no Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson on the show, we actually invited the Aam Aadmi Party to join, but they thought that the data would be unfavorable to them, which is why they haven't come, and that's quite amusing, because the data is actually suggesting that the government is holding firm and gaining ground, as opposed to, so it's all about perception. Now, of course, if they knew that the data was very positive, they would have jumped on and said, "Hamare 3 spokesperson le lo aap."
Rahul, I won't say they are gaining ground, but yes, they are holding on to a sizable.
When I say gaining ground, I'm saying it's relatively speaking, the trend is that they're as strong as they were, and if at all they're picking up, as opposed to losing ground. They're holding firm.
Certainly, there is no sign of Aam Aadmi Party losing ground, whatever we have seen during last 6-8 months. And as I said earlier also, you hold elections tomorrow, they are sure to form a next assembly, next government in the state. But yes, I would also agree with what Amit said earlier. Delhi, we have seen how Delhi has voted in 2014 and 2015. We should not draw conclusions from what is going to happen in 2019.
Okay, so let me come to that question then. Yes. Here are the responses to the question about the performance of the central government. In January 2019, 41% of the respondents say they are satisfied with the Modi government. In October 2018, it was 42%. So that's pretty much where it was. It's 1% down. There's really not much to be said in 1%. It could be just a little bit here, a little bit there. It's in the margin of error. So it's roughly the same that it was in October. When it comes to people being dissatisfied with the government, again, it's pretty much where it was, from 36 to 37. Let's now look at the man they want as the next Prime Minister. That question is critical. Who do respondents in the national capital want as the next Prime Minister of the country? Rahul Gandhi was at 43%. That's now come down to 40%. So that's a dip of about 3% in Rahul Gandhi's popularity. The Prime Minister was at 49% in October. His popularity is still 49%. So that's pretty strong. So what that suggests, broadly speaking, Sanjay Kumar, is that not much has changed in the capital. things are the way they were in October. The Prime Minister is still the #1 choice. Rahul Gandhi is about 9% behind him. But in the assembly election, it is Kejriwal who's still numero uno.
Yes, I agree, Rahul. Nothing much has changed in the state capital during last 3 months. But if you look at the data in the big perspective, you see for the Lok Sabha election, the scales are tilted in favor of BJP. It is tilted in favor of the central government. And when we look at the performance of the central government, it is tilted in favor of Aam Aadmi Party. So we do see a clear divide in terms of people's preference or how people assess the work of the state government as well as the central government. And I still anticipate people's vote going differently when if there is an assembly election and if there is a Lok Sabha election.
So there is one factor that can change the political dynamic in the national capital, and that is if Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress were to fight as a united opposition. We've seen some noises being made, but so far there hasn't been any actual declaration. We know that efforts are being made behind the scenes. How do people that we spoke to in this Access My India, India Today tracker think about an AAP-Congress alliance? 39% of the respondents, that's 4 in every 10 respondents, say that an alliance will be welcome and that it is strong. Roughly the same number, 40% say that this won't be a good idea, but 40% is just a bit more than the BJP's vote share. So it's basically also, broadly speaking, the BJP people are saying the alliance is not a good idea. 1 in every 5 respondents say they don't know. Sanjay Kumar is somebody who looks at these numbers for a living. What do you make of a very confused response?
Confused response because BJP's voter would certainly not like Aam Aadmi Party and a Congress alliance to be formed in Delhi. The reasons are very simple. If there is an alliance between Aam Aadmi Party and Congress, I think they are all set to sweep, if not all 7, but at least 6 out of 7 seats in Delhi. If there is no alliance, I think BJP will still have an upper hand in the Lok Sabha elections in 7 seats of Delhi. That's the reason BJP voters, BJP supporters won't like Aam Aadmi Party and Congress to come together.
From the perspective of the BJP, you have to
Chhattisgarh with BSP, but I think forming an alliance with Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi is not going to be
easy.
It's not going to be easy, but I am sure if Congress manages to form an alliance with Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi, it is going to benefit Congress, it is going to benefit Aam Aadmi Party.
But it's also a concern for the Congress that if they were to form such an alliance, Delhi could become the next Tamil Nadu or West Bengal, where you leave space once and you never get it back.
It's not easy for the Congress to take such a call because they have to think in terms of long term or the short term. In the short term, for their survival in 2019 election, I think they need to form an alliance with Aam Aadmi Party. But if they have to think in terms of the long-term strategy of the Congress, long-term survival of the Congress, they have to think twice before forming an alliance with Aam Aadmi Party. And I don't rule out the possibility of what has happened in Tamil Nadu with Congress.
But there was also a lot of humble pie that was baked at Ramleela Maidan and at Jantar Mantar. Will both Kejriwal and Rahul Gandhi, who are both very headstrong people, sit together and eat that humble pie? Because they'll be feeding each other the humble pie they've dished out to each other. So it'll be interesting. You know, we don't need to take these calls. We only need to put out the numbers, and that's why our work is so much fun. And you can see why the Congress, the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP have a lot to think about. So hopefully next time, AAP will send a spokesperson to talk about why the government is doing well. This time they chose not to. That's their call. They have the right to stay away. Thank you so much, Sanjay Kumar, for joining us to make sense of these numbers. Amit Malviya, Nadu and Delhi not looking very strong, but you didn't diss the numbers. You took all the questions and you responded to them just the right way and tried to make sense of why things are looking the way they are. So well done. Thank you, Khushbu, for joining us for this special edition of the PSE. Thank you very much.